Colombia, a country of cartels, chaos, and crime, home of Pablo Escobar, and the largest producer of cocaine. A country historically portrayed by Hollywood as dangerous and should never visit. But after talking to people that have actually visited lately or are from there, they said the most dangerous thing about Colombia is that you don't ever want to leave. It's important to introduce our cast. Traveling with me this trip are BK and Akshay, my childhood friends. So here's the plan. For 9 days, we'll be traveling through 2 cities in Colombia, Cartagena and Medellin. The only goal is to immerse ourselves in the culture, the people, the food, and come up with an honest verdict of what we think of the country. Let's get started.
We're at what?
M14, still on time.
Oh, it's literally right there.
Yeah.
We're at the airport a few hours early. Flight's at, 2 p.m., 2:15? It's 12:45, so we gotta find a couple hours to kill. Let's go do some shenanigans. Cheers, brother. Hello, how are you? Just had a question. How full is the flight?
It is full.
Completely full?
Yeah.
Got
You
it.
guys are coming with a connection?
From here, the Bogota to Medellin.
Can I see passport?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you. She was just trying to get us to check in our bags, but we've heard a lot of stories about bags getting looted, so we're trying to avoid that completely. We have boarded. How we doing on space here, buddy? 6'2". Got 2 fingers on space. Duck in your tumbler.
Aside from the very uncomfortable seats from premium economy at Avianca Airlines, we had made it to our destination and we were ready to get to our hotel and go explore the city.
Finally, it was quite the wait. It seems like it's spring break time, so a lot of foreigners visiting the country.
How was the journey, brother?
Hot and I felt squished.
So I kind of lied. Our trip starts out in Medellin for one night before we take a flight to Cartagena tomorrow. This is our hotel for the first night and the only night that we're staying here. This hotel had a lot of rave on TikTok, so we had to stay here at least one night, and this is the only night that it worked out for us. It's called the Landmark Hotel in El Poblado. It's stunning, beautiful, amazing views of the city. We set our stuff down and made our way. This is our room. Initial impressions of Medellin is that this city never sleeps. This was all taken at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and 3 a.m. We were out late on the first night just exploring and taking everything in, and Medellin is a vibe. This moment right here is when I had my first taste of Colombian coffee and the food here. Both delicious and unforgettable. After taking all that down, we packed our bags and made our way to the airport. A really cool fact about the city is every Sunday they close down the roads so people can walk on them.
Alright, first night in Medellin is over. We are headed to Cartagena for the next 5 days to soak up the sun and the beaches. And then we'll be back in Medellin to actually take it and see it properly. But first night, I'm already in love with this country. It's amazing. Gang's headed to Cartagena.
Time to Cartagena, 47 minutes.
We're officially in Cartagena.
In Cartagena, we're staying at this fabulous boutique hotel called Palmas de Alma. We basically had the place to ourselves. It's an old home converted into 8 rooms. This is Carlos, the manager, showing us around. And luckily, we had the place to ourselves for the next 3 days. Cartagena, baby! Let's go!
The streets of Cartagena is taking all of this in. Incredible.
See, one of the toughest things we're finding is converting our dollars to pesos because everywhere is charging like mad fees, like 30%, so you're getting kind of ripped off. We had to do it at the airport, but we're trying to walk around to find a nice place. But it's a great way to explore the city and get to talk to people, ask them questions about what to do here, as well as find some really good vegetarian recs, which is kind of what we're on the hunt on for today. We're at a place called Pescatarian, recommended by our hotel concierge. Super excited to check it out.
Pescatarian knocked it out of the park. We were shocked that we were getting such good Asian cuisine in Colombia, and that to Cartagena. We got sushi, fried rice, gyozos, tofu. Everything was 10 out of 10.
Just walking around this incredible city, this amazing architecture, things like that. Just look at this. Incredible. Oh, we're at the fort, one of the forts. Whoa, the view from up here, man. And you just go down any one of these alleys and you just be hit with tons of culture and amazing architecture, great food options. This is one of the coolest cities I've ever been to.
That's giving me White Lotus vibes.
Dude, this is crazy. I've never seen a city like this. So much going on. It's like by the ocean, it's urban, it's
got the history and like...
Yeah, I'm glad we're not doing any planned things tonight. It's just like go and explore and kind of see what goes on. Definitely check out Cartagena. This giant wall or fort that we're kind of walking across leads to this incredible expanse view of the ocean. To think that soldiers once walked these very walls to protect their city is quite fascinating.
Basically, the entire next day we were island hopping, starting in Cartagena. We ended up on the party island known as Cholin Island, but along the way stopped at 3 other ones. This was really cool. The last one was where everybody's on the water partying. It was kind of disgusting, but we did it for the vibes. The toughest thing though was the boat ride because it was incredibly bumpy. We were stuck in the front and it was not good for your back.
Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble.
Today is our last day in the city of Cartagena, and we just walked around exploring the city as we'd been doing the last few days, trying new cafes, checking out street vendors, and just kind of seeing how the locals lived. It was a lot of fun, and we did some shopping, exploring, saw the sunset for one last time, and had to make our way to Medellin.
Tierra de cafés y paisajes sin par. Con un movimiento me vuelve a hipnotizar. Su risa es contagiosa, su baile un derroche. Cada giro en la danza es puro derroche. Baila, ay, 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 ay.
We are on Primavera Street to try the first stop on our coffee stop. No gracias.
Hey, I like this might be too.
First shop today is Pergamino for coffee. It's known for its Americanos and the sustainability practices, so we're going to be checking that out. The place is packed. No, what is the actual word? How do you say permission in Spanish?
Permiso.
Our coffee tour cannot resume yet because it is still pouring rain out here, typical Medellin from what we've heard from people, but it's cooling it down, and once it's done we're going to Commune 13, which has the coffee museum we're going to be checking out. But while we wait for the rain to stop, we decided to get another cup of coffee, which is the local, today's coffee of the day, pour over Chemex, so we're going to be giving that a shot. So So BK's got us going on some crazy ass journey because he said he found the best leather store in Colombia or Medellin, and clearly there's nothing here, and it's gonna be shut down. So we are following him to make sure he's fine. It's closed. Nice. We're trying Colombian candy with our friends. They're showing us all the different variety of candy that is picked up in Cartagena.
Okay, this is bocadillo de guayaba.
Gojava. Can we try?
It's guava.
Guava. Yeah.
Try guava.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, it's
this is
good.
my favorite.
Try por donde. Sí. Por la más viva.
We are at our next place, an underground place called Casa Luna in some sketchy areas of this city. See what we're in for here.
Baila, baila al ritmo colombiano, el corazón late fuerte, no hay un verano lejano. Ella es el fuego, el ritmo y la alegría. En esta pista de baile brilla su melodía.
At this moment, we are headed to our most looked forward to activity, which was the coffee farm.
And let me tell you one thing, if you ever go to Colombia and get to do just one single thing, it has to be a coffee farm tour. Because here we learned about the history of Colombian coffee, tried a bunch of different beans, they prepared some fantastic food which we enjoyed with amazing views, and we even got to pick our own coffee cherries. Coincidentally, this was the last thing we did because unfortunately I had to cut my trip short. It's been about a week here. We came last Friday. Today is Saturday. We cut our trip early because I was not getting an ounce of sleep in Provenza area. I came to Colombia to answer one question. Is it as dangerous as people say? Or is it the only dangerous thing that you don't ever want to leave? The very first day I landed, I fell in love. Amazing weather, beautiful scenery, mountainside, seeing people out till 2 a.m. Exactly what I needed on a vacation to just immerse myself and meet people. Meeting Colombians. It's really hard when you're going to these big cities like Cartagena, Medellin. You'll interact with people, but unless I learn more Spanish, because it's almost impossible to communicate in English unless I was using Google Translate or one of those apps. You can't really ask people how their day is or where they live, where they come from, do they like living here, because it's really hard when I don't speak their language, and this is not at all on them, this is completely on me. So connecting with Colombians, it's been very tough. Especially because so many tourists. Every event that we went to, everyone, mostly 90% of them were Americans or tourists from Europe or all around the world. So the most part of the conversations I was having wasn't even people from Colombia. So I didn't really get to connect with the Colombian culture, the Colombian people, to learn more about it. So that is one thing that I don't think you can get when you're visiting these big and popular cities like Medellin and Cartagena. You're just gonna meet other tourists that are on the same level as you. Crime. It is very safe. I won't say it's completely safe to travel solo because on every corner there's people trying to scam you and sell you cocaine or get you into some sort of trouble. And one thing that I find absolutely disgusting, and I think it's a big part of the tourism here, is the sex tourism. It is really gross to see how many people come here and how many women are, I don't know if they're forced, they choose to. From what I heard from locals is that women choose to do this to pay for school and they kind of get stuck in it because, you know, it's that kind of world. It's really nasty to see how many people are coming here just for sex tourism. Is it dangerous where you die? No, but would I recommend coming with a group of people so you kind of have accountability for one another? Yes, definitely. Instead of me giving you a speech at an airport lounge in Colombia, here's my final verdict. If you were to judge Colombia purely on the interactions with people you'll have, the food, the scenery, the biodiversity, this is a country you have to visit. It is stunning and beautiful, period. If it's in your top 10 list, move it to the top 3 because you have to go. The amount of things you can find yourself doing here are vast, from the rolling hills of Medellin to the incredible islands and beaches of Cartagena, and so many more places that I didn't get to go, but I'm definitely putting on my list to visit again. So I hope you found this video somewhat useful, and maybe use it as a reference on how to navigate Colombia if you're visiting for the first time. Now, let's get back home. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it's completely free.
Off of Colombia down to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. What a great energy to come back to.